when God's behind it. Focused on me, I'm steady grinding. Getting it done, we on that timing. If there's a way, we gon' find it. As long as we move when God's behind it. Focused on me, I'm steady grinding. Getting it done, we on that timing. I know they hate me, wanna sit around and just debate me, trying to add the extra weight so maybe they could break me, but not I. Avoiding all the drama like a mogwai. So my pride, making good music.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Phoenix Novell, and thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Artist Spotlight Musicians on Gigs. I am here today with a special guest, somebody who took time out of their busy schedule to introduce themselves, what they're working on, and their inspiration behind the things that they do with you guys. This is Marcus, but he goes by the artist name of Mr.Snugglez, and we will get info as to where that came from as well. Guys, this is a really cool journey for me, There's so many artists that have amazing pens, that are really exceptionally talented, that, just don't have the kind of, millions and millions of fans on a platform that they deserve. You know what I mean? When people have messages that can really change a person's life, I think it's important to highlight them. And Marcus, a.k.a. Mr.Snugglez, is definitely one of those artists. I met his acquaintance on Fiverr, and that's actually I'm just going to shout out, there's quite a few Skillshare sites, but Fiverr has definitely brought me a lot of exceptionally talented people that I've had the pleasure to create great music and content with and become friends over some time. So that is actually how me and Marcus met each other. And he hit me up. He was like, I think I like your voice, and I think I'd like you to be a part of my project. And come on, there's a lot of people who have a lot of projects, and you're like, all right, come on, take a number, let's go. But when I listened to what he had, Marcus, aka Mr.Snugglez, he is a lyricist, he's a rapper, he's a singer, he's an audio engineer. This man is he does everything. And I was immediately intrigued because his content is not just booties and ass shaking and all, come on, not that there's anything wrong with that, okay? But he actually really, really gets you thinking. He wants you to think. His music is uplifting, but it's also cool as shit. It's dope. It feels good, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you don't get that. You get a good message, but not a good melody, or not a good, And the beat was amazing. It immediately sucked me in. And I remember how I felt about working on it and writing. And I remember when I sent it to him, how I anticipated the reaction. I was like, oh, I hope he liked it. I was so giddy because I was so excited about being a part of that project. And that song, the very first song we did together, was called Soulful. He released it, so I'm actually going to be able to share it with you guys as well, so that you can actually listen to the lyrics, hear the intellect there, and listen to the raw talent of not only me, your girls truly, but Marcus. And again, you'll be blown away. So without further ado, I am presenting him to you guys. So check him out. You ready, Marcus?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so first of all, before we get into anything, where did Mr.Snugglez come from? I gotta know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's more of a joke, to be honest, because growing up, everybody always called me Bear or Papa Bear, because I'm not a small guy, but they always say I'm real laid back and chill. So sometimes it'd be Papa Bear or whatever, something always with a bear.
Okay.
And what I'm saying, everybody got tired of calling me the same thing, so then somebody switched it up and said Mr.Snugglez, or Snuggles rather, and I was like, that is hilarious. And then we just went with that. So
okay,
I just kept it as an artist name.
Okay, so it was like a joke kind of thing that you kind of felt like, what? I've heard it so much, it kind of reminds me of me, big but cuddly, and you kept it.
Yeah, I just kept that. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go by that because I'm a comedian myself. So
okay,
I couldn't help it.
Okay, well, I'm not mad at it. Well, tell me, where are you originally from, Mr.Snugglez?
Originally from Queens, New York.
Wow. Are you are you residing in Queens now, or have you moved around since then?
I've definitely moved around quite a bit, but originally, in Queens, definitely.
Okay. What was it like growing up in Queens? Tell me a little bit. I mean, I'm from Philly, so I'm from
Mhm.
the east side of things, but I probably went to New York maybe once or twice for an audition or two. But I want to know from somebody who is born and raised in that neck of the woods, what did it feel like? What was it like being a native New Yorker?
I would say, well, when it comes to Queens, Queens is like one of the, I mean, Manhattan is a melting pot, definitely, but Queens
Yeah.
is like that too. And depending on where you go, like, if you in the Jamaica area, that's a different flavor than say being in Bayside or Springfield or whatever. So you get to experience a lot of different cultures over here. And it definitely plays into even from your artist standpoint, because some areas of Queens is like, you find more poets than anything. Then
Okay.
you get to other areas and then you have more of the MCs, and then you also have a lot of the mixture. So a lot of times, like when you start developing yourself as an artist, because you're around a lot of other artists that like do the same, or do a mixture. I'm sorry, you get you kind of get drawn into that. Like, yo, let me try this too. Let me try my hand at poetry, which is what I started to do aside from even just writing lyrics.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so it's a melting pot. And just kind of touching on to that, did you start out performing, or did you just kind of find yourself liking to be behind the scene? Like, do you perform?
So I haven't performed in a long time. Like now I just kind of make music and put it out.
What's a long
But
time?
um I would say it's been a few years. As far as being on stage with poetry, I would say right before COVID, I did the Nuyorican Cafe, and,
Okay.
yeah, and I did poetry there, and I just went in one random night and just tried to see how I do, and I came in. I think I came in second that night.
Really?
Yeah, and it was just me and my brother. My brother recorded it, and I just walked in and did it, and it came out good. But as far as like actually like being on stage and like rapping, I think that's been, I'm gonna say maybe 2004.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a
Wow.
minute. Hmm.
Okay, so now where you're at now, do you want to be an artist, or are you more so interested in just writing and creating really good music?
Um, I think I'm more or less focused on just making really good music, but
Okay.
also that's the thing for me. Like I was saying before, like I started off just wanting to be an audio engineer. That's why I went to school. I went to Five Towns College and Queensboro for music electronics, and then that's how I got into the audio aspect. But before that part, I always wrote music, period. And then, so I always developed that even when I was just studying in school and the whole nine, and kept going with it. So, but fast forward now, it's kind of like I'm always juggling new creative ideas, because I do the poetry still, right? I still, write rhymes. I still sing, obviously. I still do all those things, but I do voiceover work. I have an animation on YouTube called Couch Coins.
I've
Um,
seen it.
yeah, so I'm all over the place sometimes.
So can I ask about okay, wow. I didn't know that you created Couch Coins and that was yours. I saw some clips, but I didn't know that you actually, wow, that's a lot. Okay. So did you get into audio engineering or wanted to do it because you wanted to be able to mix and master your own music, or did you see yourself really kind of doing that as like a career and having music on the side?
Yeah, I think I was never the type to really want to be in front of the camera. Like
Okay.
that's just not my personality. So
Okay.
I think I was more comfortable with being an audio engineer, but I always loved music and creating, so that part just never stopped.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but that was like what I really expected to do, at least. You know what I'm saying?
So let
But
me ask you about that because I'm having a lot of problems with that part of my journey. I'll write, I'll play, I'll produce, I'll create, I will come up with all kinds of melodies until I'm blue in the face. But it's been a journey for me trying to find audio engineers and mixers who really get what it is that I want my music to do. So are
Mhm.
you somebody who can do that for me? Like are you somebody who can actually, be my new audio engineer?
I have so I have the ability to do it. I just don't have the equipment. I wouldn't even lie
Okay.
to you. Yeah,
Okay.
I. Mm-hmm.
So you're not
I would.
mixing and mastering your own music right now.
No, because it would take. So it would take me so long because I'm a perfectionist
Yes.
that I have to sit down for every detail. And that would take me days.
Yeah.
And when I would do it, I was very serious because an artist is giving you their best. They're giving you their expression. And I think it's unfair. If you're an engineer and you take your craft serious, you shouldn't shortchange a person that's giving you something that they care so much about. They're giving it to you, put it in your hands to improve on whatever they already gave.
Yeah.
Then you got some of these engineers who get it and give them back a subpar product that they paid for, which is crazy to me. So I that's why I said to myself, like, I'm not in the phase where I would do it now because I would have to re up so much equipment.
Yeah.
And then, like I would have to change like the room around. I would have to, you know what I'm saying? I would make it so that it was a proper place to actually hear and perfect somebody's music. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I respect that. I respect that because, and everything you just now said, one of my biggest issues and the things I've run into is, um, you know, when it comes to audio engineering, it's one of those, it's a nebulous thing.
mhm.
It's up to interpretation. You can't make somebody hear something. If that's the way they hear it and that's the mix, it's right. And then you can't not pay them because in their mind they did the work. It takes hours and
Right,
hours sometimes and days, and they got to go back and come back and listen to the drums. And I have spent so much money on one song sometimes because I just didn't get that mix. And I realize now why so many people they have the same audio engineer
hmm
that they had from the beginning. Like that's one of the people on your team that will probably stay with you if you find the right one because
hmm
they get it. It's just one of those tricky things where you'll find, especially on Fiverr and those skill sharing things, it's like they'll show you the work they did, and you're just like, well, how do I even know that you that you really
hmm
so it's definitely been I'm trying to teach myself and I'm dreading just what you just now said as to how, as an artist, the hat that you got to put on. I'm dreading that. But I'm the kind of person where I can't let somebody slow me down.
right.
To find that person, I'm going to have to learn. So it's a skill set I am willing to learn. So I want to ask about, I'm still kind of like, stuck on the whole performing thing because you're exceptionally talented and you're not just a jack of all trades, master of none. You rap very well and you sing very well. Usually there is a clear lacking or one is better than the other. And it's almost like I even had to ask you, is that you rapping? Is that you singing too? And you're just like so casually, yeah, that's me. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell? So I mean, it's artists like you who people, I mean, nobody's doing that at that level. And so, of course, if you always were kind of like more comfortable behind the camera, it is what it is, right? But I just feel like the world is missing out on you being in front of the camera. They're missing out on you performing more and singing and then rapping. Like Lauryn Hill was exceptional for that very reason because
Right.
everybody could not do that. Everybody can't just switch. All right now, and then carry that same, capture and and get you so focused intently, seamlessly as they do both. You have that skill set, and I really, really do, hope You know, at some point you get that drive and urge to get in front of the camera because
Mhm.
I know that people will go crazy. And not just one night when you feel like, okay, let me check out the poetry slam. No, I mean like at the open mics, you know, and just because your voice, like on Soulful, the first song that I ever did with you, just hearing just a I don't even know. Like I'm trying to think of, you know, artists that you remind me of. You have a huskiness to your voice, but there's also like, have you ever been trained? Did you go to school at all for singing?
Mm, so when I went to school, well, first and foremost, thank you because I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I tried to to get things as you know. I know with me, I'm a harsh critic to myself, so I try to go over stuff a million times and get it right. Even before I go into the studio, um, like I'm practicing a lot, so I get it on one take, and that's one thing I take
Wow.
pride in. When I go to the studio, it's very rare that I don't get at least the rhyming part. I
Mm.
normally get it on one take because I don't want to waste the engineer's time either. You know what I'm saying?
That complete opposite of me.
Yeah.
That's the beauty for me. That's the beauty about being in the studio. I will be in
Mhm.
there until it's perfect, and usually I'm in there. I'm in there probably an hour. I'm just being real, you know, an hour
Yeah.
before it's like, yeah, I think I'll live with that one. I like it. But no, like some people just have that ear and that skill set, and hopefully one day that'll be me.
Nah, you
Right?
will. You will. I just, you know what I'm saying? I try to get it all because I feel like if I get it right away, that leaves the engineer with more time to do whatever extra they want to do to it. You know.
Very true. That's a good point too.
Mhm.
Is there anybody, your parents or your siblings, anybody else in your family that has this level of talent?
My brother, my baby brother, he's actually in the industry.
Really?
Yeah, he goes by self-made MC. He's in Florida now, but obviously he's originally from Queens. But he definitely
Doing it.
does music on a high level. I'll definitely sing his stuff too, but
I'd
very
love to check it
talented.
out. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's my baby brother. We're 9 years apart, so
who's better? Ah,
oh nah, he's better. He's better.
there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's love. Because no, because first of all, you know you're amazing. So you don't even gotta be like when people know they're amazing, they ain't got a problem like, yo, they great too. That's what's I
Thank you.
definitely please definitely send me whatever because I love to chant. I want to hear and I'd
Mhm.
love to champion his music if it's, you know, if it's popping. Okay, I want to
Oh, it
ask
is.
you. I know it's been a minute since you performed, but I would like to know if you can share, if you're okay with sharing, either or both, your best
Mhm.
performance or your worst performance ever.
Mhm. So my worst performance was I was transitioning from Queensboro community to City Tech in Brooklyn,
Okay.
and but somebody asked me to perform in the talent show, so I said, yeah, sure. Went down there, did like a mic check. Um, you don't have any idea what the crowd's gonna be like or whatever, but I went out there and performed. One of my best friends showed up also, so I go out on stage, I perform, give it my all. I felt like I heard four claps, or maybe I don't know. Just and you know what I'm saying. So you just hear and then I'm just like,
The
all right,
sympathy cat claps.
yeah. I was just like, all right, just kind of walked off from there. And I
Oh,
talked to my friend after. He was like, nah, you did good. It's just I don't know. The crowd wasn't really there for hip hop. I was like, all right, I get it.
did you have it on? Did you record that so you was able to look and see if you really did do well?
No, I literally just left and was like, all right, peace. I was done with the situation. I was out. That's it. Got on the train, went home. That was it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's sad. Do you have it?
It
And
was.
hopefully you can redeem it with your best performance ever.
I actually think my best performance was so there's two of them, but one specifically when I was in Queensboro College. Me and two other guys, we recorded a song together, and we were all just freestyling.
Hmm.
But the college liked it so much, they kept it and they allowed the classes behind us to like engineer the song. Because what happened was when I guess we were all producers also, so we all all three of us were like made different beats, and that one beat we used, but the levels were a little off, and because we were all for audio engineering major, they prefer it like that. So now the next few classes can fix the imperfections. But you know, I guess the school liked it so much that they, just kept it. And then from there, what is it? They heard the song, some of the other professors. Mm-hmm. So they asked all of us to do poetry for a play that they had. So each one of us had a turn to do our poetry, and I went up there and I did my whatever you want to call it, my poetry, my verse. I don't know how you say it,
the verse,
but I did it, and everybody stood up, was yelling, clapping, the whole nine, and I was just like, yeah, all right, cool.
That sounds about right.
I did that. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Okay,
and that was my first paying gig too in college. So.
Oh wow. So always have to get paid to do what you
absolutely
love to do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So let me ask you, I want to know if you can tell me what your favorite style of music is, to perform or just listen to. You have anything that you really like, consider the best of the best?
Mm. I don't. I would say it's probably between hip hop and probably jazz. My father used to play a lot of jazz in the house, like a lot of jazz. So whenever I would be around him, that's pretty much all I'm hearing most of the day. When I'm on my own, then obviously it's like hip hop and stuff like that. But I love R&B. I kind of draw from pretty much every genre because I have a playlist for literally every genre.
Nice.
So yeah, but I would say jazz. That's why I always like the jazz hip hop, like fusion. Like especially you got more of that in the early '90s.
Yes,
when, like like you got that feel, and I think I always love that like that, like I like Common Sense.
Okay.
Or like you know what I'm saying, or you'll get that vibe from like a Mos Def. Yes. Or something like that. And those were like some of my favorite artists growing up,
Okay. So where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years when it comes to this music business or this business of music? As a writer, as a performer, where do you see yourself and what do you think you would like it to look like in terms of your contribution to the music industry?
I think so. I think I would continue, love to continue to do music. And, the goal is always for the world to hear it, you know what I'm saying? Because even though we can put our music out, we always want our bandwidth to be, like increasing each time. Yes. Whether people love your music, don't like it, but you just want people to hear your art. And I think that's really what I want. But as far as like my biggest contribution, I would say I like to write, and even writing for other people. I think that is something that I would definitely like to do. The ultimate goal would be to have like a label and a collection of artists where, I can like help develop them. Now, granted, I didn't, go that far into the industry, right? But I feel like I can still bring enough to the table to develop other artists. And I would definitely call on the assistance from my brother because he has even more experience than I do,
And that's what, that's the beauty about somebody who is interested in being behind the scenes more so than in front of the camera, is that they're not afraid to share what they know or write for other artists. Because sometimes what I've noticed, which I think is a huge disservice, is great talent. They just don't have the passion or desire to put it out there at all. but you hear it, so they have it in their heart. And you can't get mad at that because, like, it's up to them. But the fact that you are still putting out music and you recognize what's inside of you is something that needs to be heard. And there are a lot of artists who don't have that skill set to really write that well, but they're great performers. And so
Right.
they need people like you. They need someone who knows how to put it together, who can help them perform it the way that you actually maybe lived it or felt it, and really, sell the song. So I think that's amazing. I was hoping that you said that because I'm like, okay, you know what, hey, just, I don't know, chuck along. Maybe, if it hadn't. No, you said artist development, you said writing, you said publishing, because number one, great songs make a hell of a lot of money. Now, like seriously, it can help. You can eat off of that, your kids, your family. I mean,
Right.
for a long time coming. And so,
Right.
You definitely have to. You got to continue to put it out there. You also have to, at some point in time, look into, record labels and the names, and maybe reach out to, publishing companies, or possibly getting representation to maybe shop your
Right.
music around. There has to be a business aspect to that, because when you don't have the exposure and you don't perform as much, the chances of you being discovered are much lower, right?
Right. Right.
Sometimes you just have to find somebody who can shop your stuff for you. So that'll be probably your, something that you have to kind of like, unless your brother can help you, to actively seek out your music. It's unquestionably, it's unquestionably greatness. And
Thank you.
there's no doubt in my mind that people who are actually looking for great quality content and talent would be able to recognize that, and would say, okay, listen, what can we do? So yes, I see that for you as well. And I pray, and fingers crossed. And as far as for us as well, like, I'm happy to hear you say that, because look, I am very much interested in continuing to work with you as well, and
Oh,
to
absolutely.
produce and to create. So you got my vote. We good.
I appreciate, and it's so funny. I always say, like, going forward with anything as far as music, I always, like, you have a great voice, and your writing skills are dope too, because I pay
For
attention to your
me?
collection.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
I pay
you.
attention to your collection of music. So when you meet people like that, you want to continue, because, like, there's songs that I have recorded already that I just haven't got back around to, but I definitely want you on those tracks.
I'm
I
down.
just gotta, huh?
I'm absolutely down. Listen,
Good, good.
I spent, I don't know if I don't know how much you know about me. I post a lot of everything, but I spent the majority of my adulthood internationally performing, and I was doing a lot of cover band songs. I was
Mhm.
singing songs that other people wrote and other people made famous. And I was able to survive, nice living. But again, I was not sharing the things that I experienced. Nobody was singing my song. And, it's a big difference. So now, in this leg of my life, I am absolutely pushing forward my creativity. That's with my artwork, that's with my songs, that's with my books. I am no longer, playing, because there's the safety when it comes to performing what other people already took a chance and put out there. Like, they've
Right.
already tested the waters, it's already become a huge hit. All I got to do is sing it well. And so that's not really a challenge for me. The challenge
Mhm.
for me is to get to see other people sing what I wrote. And I think that's
Right.
probably one of the most intoxicating things, because of how people react to the songs that other people have written, just like us. Like, we're writers too, and somebody wrote Shape of You, and somebody wrote Crazy in Love, you know what I'm saying? And these are
Mhm.
huge hits that people will listen to and repeat and repeat and repeat. And I want to see that same thing. I want to go into a club one day and hear the whole club singing some shit that I wrote. Oh my God. It's gonna happen, I'm sure. But I
Yes, it
mean,
will.
just the very idea of us being writers and producers, and actually getting getting to the level where we actually get our music to somebody who plays it, who believes in it, and then it's just a huge hit. I think for me,
Mhm.
it'll probably just make me just die of happiness. One day it'll happen.
No, it definitely is gonna happen, and I agree with you. It's like when you can see a collection of people that all take value in something that you created. You sat down, you wrote, or something that you thought of and made it into a whole idea or whatever. Like, and see that other people take value in it is definitely awesome.
You know, I didn't ask you this, right? Like, so I'm about to
So
ask you.
I'm with you on that's why I love. Huh?
Sorry,
Is it?
I think there was a little bit of a lag. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can hear you. I can hear you.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask you a question that wasn't on the list. So just prepare because you're gonna have to think of something real fast.
Okay.
I just wanna be next to you. Yeah, yeah. I just wanna be next to you. Yeah. Ride around in the city real late. Been all on my mind all day. Brown skin in that sunlight, been giving me real vibes. And I'm gonna be like, I'm really missing you. Just wanna listen to all of the things that I feel when I'm kissing you. Everyone sees it, they know.